Hi, this is Rod Hodgman, Vice President of Marketing here at Avoka Technologies. And this is our introductory video presentation on Avoka Form Factory for Adobe LiveCycle ES2. In this overview presentation, we go over the business problems that we set out to solve and the solution approach that we took to solve those, and how we were able to make it possible for many more people in your organization to be able to create LiveCycle services in much less time and at much less cost. So let's get started. Form Factory for Adobe LiveCycle makes it really simple and easy for any business user, knowledge worker, anyone who's not a developer or a designer to quickly and easily and affordably create LiveCycle services. And the reasons we created it is because forms are everywhere. Virtually every organization uses forms to enable users to open accounts, order products, register for services online. In fact, Gartner estimates that up to 85% of business processes start with a form. If you're viewing this presentation, this probably sounds familiar to you. You've got a great website, but when users need to open an account, order a product, register for services, to transact in any way, more often than not, you present those users with a static electronic form that's going to be printed on paper, filled out with a pen and pencil, and mailed by post or faxed back to your organization. And research shows that you really couldn't pick a more expensive or unfriendly way to treat your customers. And this research from Pricewaterhouse shows that on average, organizations are going to spend $20 to file a paper document, $120 to find a misfiled document, $220 to recreate lost documents, and $30 to correct the errors in each document. And that's on average. The cost could be much higher. And if you take all these costs and lay them out over 1,000 forms, you're going to see that the cost per day to handle 1,000 forms for each of these cost elements is $51,500, and if you do that 5 days a week for 52 weeks a year, it's almost $13.4 million annually. So doing business this way is inefficient and extremely costly and can be avoided. So there is a better way. It's to enable electronic self-service, using the internet and the power of the web to directly connect your customers, your partners, your employees directly into your business processes, significantly increasing user satisfaction, streamlining business processes, compressing time, and stripping out a lot of costs that are inherent in these business processes today. We use the Adobe LiveCycle ES2 platform and the ubiquitous Adobe client runtimes to integrate users into business processes. The Adobe solution components allow us to leverage the internet and the web to integrate users across platforms, across devices, into business processes in a secure, controlled, and managed way that also delivers the rich, interactive, intelligent experiences needed to ensure that they'll be able to successfully complete an online business process. Now, I just want to take a minute and differentiate the SmartForms that we use to connect users into business processes from the static PDF forms you may have on your website today. A SmartForm is a kind of rich internet application. It uses advanced features found in many applications, such as dynamic content, mandatory fields, data validation, in-form calculations, dynamic data lookups, advanced error correction, and easy access to assistance, all designed to make it sure that the user can successfully get through the process without errors, without missing information, or without having to get the call center involved. Now, we've created rich, interactive, intelligent SmartForm solutions for over 100 customers in virtually every industry. And what we found over and over again is the reason that organizations bring us in is generally because their IT department is just unavailable to do the task. They're overcommitted and under-resourced. They're allocated to very large cost reduction programs, such as moving to a virtualization platform or data center consolidation. Or the other major driver is that the IT organization just doesn't have the user interface, the user interaction, user design skill sets needed to create effective user experiences, successful, effective user experiences. So what we realized in understanding these patterns and behaviors that we saw in organizations was that these organizations were not getting the full utilization and the full value and the full impact out of their lifecycle investment, that there was many more business processes that could be streamlined. There was a lot more cost that could be taken out of each of these organizations if they could get the deployment further through the organization. And that led us to thinking, what if? What if you didn't need to be an expert to effectively connect users to business processes? What if you didn't need to be a designer or a developer to create LiveCycle services? What if anyone could do it? And what if anyone could do it at less cost and at less time than it takes today? Well, now anyone can do it. Introducing Form Factory for Adobe LiveCycle ES2. Form Factory opens up the LiveCycle innovation process to business users, business teams, and other knowledge workers by eliminating the requirements for professional developer or designer skills to create, deploy, or manage LiveCycle services. It encapsulates all the knowledge and best practices that we've developed over 7 years of developing hundreds of LiveCycle installations for customers in virtually every industry. So let's take a look at the products that enable Form Factory. The underlying platform, of course, is LiveCycle, but enabling service creation to be performed by business teams and eliminating the need for professional developers' design skills is delivered through Avoka SmartForm Composer, which is an intuitive, simple, easy-to-use solution for quickly creating interactive and intelligent smart forms. The whole area of deployment, of service interaction, of user interaction management, of managing and optimizing services, of setting policy on services is all handled by our enterprise forms management solution, Avoka Form Center. Form Center has been developed over 7 years of experience and drives some of the largest LiveCycle forms implementations in the world. We call this Form Factory for Adobe LiveCycle because opening the LiveCycle innovation process to business teams by eliminating the requirement for developer designer skills does two things. It significantly increases the pool of resources that can develop LiveCycle services, and it significantly decreases the amount of time and cost it takes to deliver these LiveCycle services. So an organization gets the ability to mass produce and mass customize LiveCycle services without a corresponding increase in operating costs. And that's where the Form Factory name comes from. So this is the end of our Form Factory presentation. Hopefully what you've learned today is that Form Factory is a way for organizations to significantly create more LiveCycle services in less time and at less costs. It's not just for organizations that have a large number of forms, but it's for organizations that want to capture all of the forms and all the processes in the organization to maximize their cost reduction efforts and to streamline all of their business processes. I hope you'll take the time to look at the other videos on this page that would include a more detailed product walkthrough and some customer testimonials. This is Rod Hodgman signing off. Thanks for listening.